All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. In today's live stream, we're going to talk about the Bitcoin halving. And, it's if you can't see the countdown clock, it's actually an hour and 19 minutes. So, yeah, it's coming pretty soon. And basically, this usually starts the beginning of the bull run for crypto. We already had Bitcoin shoot up, and this was due to the spot Bitcoin ETFs that got approved like 3 months ago, and I think we got like 7 or like 8 of them that got approved. So yeah, that was kind of like the pre-start of the bull run for crypto. But what really starts the bull run is the halving. Typically after this, and we'll look at the charts. Typically after this, you may see some sideways action, but for the most part, it just goes up from here. And first, it's Bitcoin, and then once people start to take profit from Bitcoin, they move into the altcoins. And typically the altcoins move a lot higher than Bitcoin. And the reason why is because the altcoins have smaller market caps. So the real money to be made here in a crypto bull run is in the altcoins. Now, I always say if you don't really know what altcoins to get in, I would suggest just sticking to Bitcoin and Ethereum, because those are the big ones, and those are most likely they're not going to go anywhere, right? Obviously, every investment that you make, you can't run away from the risk, but those are like Ethereum and Bitcoin are coins that I don't think are ever going anywhere. They just have a lot of staying power, and a lot of stuff is being built on those blockchains. So, and again, I don't think the Ethereum ETF is going to get approved in May, but I think it's still going to be a bullish year for Ethereum, right? They just did their upgrade where transaction fees on their network is going to be a lot cheaper. They have a lot of L2s processing transactions. So those transactions on those blockchains are going to be a lot faster, a lot cheaper. So yeah, I wouldn't say a lot faster. I would say a lot cheaper, right? Because the L2s were already cheaper, and with the upgrade that Ethereum did, it's just going to make it even more cheaper. So yeah, so the countdown is an hour and 16 minutes now. But let me share my screen, and let's start looking at some coins. All right, and let's take a look at let's take a look at the BTC chart. Again, so I when I'm trying to see when the ETFs I believe got approved in February or January, the end of January or the beginning of February. So if we look at the chart, Bitcoin was at 42,000, around 42,000 to 50,000. So yeah, like I said, that sparked the beginning of the bull run, but it's not the real bull run. So that's why I say the pre-start. But we did break all-time highs for a little bit, and then we came back down. Now, some of the projects that, like I said, like the most money is going to be made in the altcoins. So I've been reading. I'm not reading. I've been watching videos to see what are going to be the most popular narratives when it comes to this crypto bull run for 2024 and going into the beginning of 2025. And the main themes that I keep hearing about is AI, real world assets, layer twos, and also something that just recently came up was layer twos for Bitcoin. Because remember, the reason why Ethereum came out is because Bitcoin didn't, like, the network didn't have smart contract functionality, right? So that was the purpose of Ethereum. And then you had all the Ethereum killers like Solana, Avalanche, and so on and so forth. But they were kind of just building on their own network and not really building for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just kind of just the store value, you could use it for payments, but it does take a long time. But what recently has come up are layer twos for Bitcoin. And one of the popular layer twos that looks pretty interesting is Stacks. All right. So let's look at Stacks. So yeah, so Stacks is basically a layer two on Bitcoin. It allows for DeFi, decentralized finance, and they have an upcoming upgrade called the Nakamoto upgrade in May, and it's basically going to allow you to process BTC on their chain, and it's supposed to be uh, quicker finality, quicker settlement when it comes to your payments and things like that. Because I think right now, depending on the size that the amount of BTC that you send, you're going to be paying a lot of money. I know they did come out with a Lightning network, but I'm not sure if that really took off. And I was hearing a lot of, negative things about the Lightning network. So I think, another blockchain project to be the L2 to Bitcoin is kind of, I wouldn't say revolutionary because you already had that with Ethereum, but nobody was really doing it because they kind of exited or X'd out Bitcoin when it came to smart contract functionality. They were basically saying, okay, this is just going to be a store of value, and you're only going to be able to send people money, and it's going to take a long time to do it. So basically, what Stacks does, it it basically allows you to transact in Bitcoin, but a lot faster. And you could do a lot of other things with it, like decentralized finance, lend, borrow, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then also on top of that, there's plays within Stacks as well. There's this DEX called Alex, and it's also another interesting play because that's like the first. It's like the first DEX on Stacks. And this is it right here. So they're basically saying this is going to be like the next Uniswap. Now, Uniswap, obviously, for those of you keeping up with the space, they just got, well, they got a Wells notice from the SEC. And basically what that means is that the SEC is looking to file a lawsuit. They haven't really come out with the details yet, but typically when that happens, the project ends up getting sued. I didn't hear anything about Alex because Alex is tied to Stacks, and Stacks is tied to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin just got an ETF approved. So I don't think they're going to be attacking BTC or any projects associated to BTC anytime soon, or at all. Sorry, I just ate. Anytime soon or at all. But I think since the Ethereum ETF was supposed to get approved in May, they had to come out with something to delay it. So sending out the Wells notice to Uniswap, and then also prior to that, they said they were going to do an investigation on the Ethereum Foundation, so companies associated to Ethereum, just to see if it comes out to be a security or if they could deem it to be a security, which I don't think they're going to be able to make happen, just because it's too big. I think once you get to a certain market cap, it's kind of just too big to fail. Like right now, Ethereum's at $340 billion when it comes to market cap. Let's take a look at the market cap for Ethereum. And Ethereum's down right now. It was at 33, now it's at 3,000. Okay, but yeah, so the market cap is $363 billion. So it's to a point where, there's no going back. Even they're not going to be able to deem it a security, even if they wanted to. Too many people are invested in it. Too many retail investors are invested. So this is just more of a way to delay approving the spot ETF for Ethereum. That's just my opinion. All right, and if we look at the chart, again, I think right now with the halving and the layer twos for BTC, I think those are going to be the plays that, you know, do really good in this bull run and may be the plays that take off first. So that's another good thing to point out. After the halvening, not everything goes at once. You typically have sectors, right? So like I was saying earlier, you want to know the narratives that are going to be hot during this bull run. So that way, uh, you know, maybe you capture gains on a narrative that goes that explodes first, and then maybe you could take those gains and put that money in a narrative that may have not have popped off yet. So yeah, but the hard part is finding out which ones are going to go first. In my opinion, I think the the Bitcoin plays are going to go first, just because, especially if we get the denial of the ETFs, there is a chance, there is a possibility that that Ethereum spot ETFs get approved, but it's very slim. So you got to think about it. If they end up not approving that ETF, it's going to be more spotlight on Bitcoin, right? Because one, the halving. Everybody waits for the halving for Bitcoin to happen, because again, that's the start of the real bull run. And then two, Bitcoin already had its spot ETFs approved. So another positive catalyst. And then three, it's the number one crypto. So when you go on CoinMarketCap, you know, people are going to see BTC rising. And then also the fact that it's number one, it's going to be on the news. It's going to be everywhere. Everybody's going to be like, oh, it's going to 200,000. Some people have a prediction that it's going to go to 500,000. This bull market, I don't think so. I think eventually it will, but I don't think it'll hit 500,000. We could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. Who knows? Because it did, like I said, it did break all-time highs before the halving, which was, you know, it definitely different price action than previous bull runs, right? So we had this break of, it's really like, I think it was 69 that was the all-time high for the previous bull run, and it broke that. I think it went to like 74, 75, and right now we're at 63. So yeah, we're getting a little pullback, but it should be exciting these next 2 to 3 months, especially if you're really invested into the space. I just remember the previous bull runs. Every time you would like look at your phone, the prices would just shoot up. I remember like the last bull run, or not even the one previous to, I'm trying to think, because I was actually there for two bull runs. The one in 2017, yeah, so I've been through two bull runs. The 2017, I was kind of that's when I got in, like beginning of the end of 2016 going into 2017. I experienced the tail end of that, so I didn't really know what was going on. So the second bull run, I kind of knew what was going on a little bit. I was a little more prepared, but this third one, I feel like I'm the most prepared because I know how the prices typically move. I know how long the bull run typically lasts, and you know, I feel like I'm just way more prepared for this bull run when you know, when I look at all the three that, you know, I participated in. This one I'm probably the most ready to capture more opportunity. Now I think this bull run's gonna last until 1 year after the halving, so it may be a little bit more. So the halving's gonna happen today in a couple hours. So I think the bull run will end in April of next year, 2025, or maybe like a few months after April of 2025. And I don't think typically when the bull market ends, we get like a strong drawdown, like 70, 80%. People are taking profits. I don't think we're going to get those type of drawdowns anymore, just because we have the institutional investors investing in the space, right? They have billions of dollars each week going into spot ETFs, and the supply, again, of Bitcoin is capped. So I don't think that I don't think we're gonna get those 60-70% drawdowns like we used to get. I think this is gonna be the last bull the last I wouldn't say I think the next bull run will probably be good too, but I think this is gonna be the best one so far. Just because with all the positive catalysts that we have going into it. So yeah, so like I was saying, I feel like I'm the most prepared for this one. So we'll see at the end of it. We'll see how I do. We'll see, you know, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to do pretty well as long as I stay in good quality projects and then also not falling in love with a project. So one of my tips for people that are investing in the crypto space is to if you get a 2 to 3x on some of your positions, I would say take profit, right? Take profit and go to something, but obviously you have to know the projects that you want to get into after you take profit from somewhere. So that's why I have a bunch of projects that I know that are quality projects that are going to do well this bull run. So after I take profit from one project, I can put that money in another project and not just keep it there and hold out through the whole bull run. I didn't do that last bull run. I did okay moving from project to project, but I feel like I could have did that a lot more. And then also sometimes, maybe after you get profit from two projects, maybe you stay in like something like a stable coin and then let everything drop. But then you have to literally know, not literally know, but you have to have experienced a couple bull markets to know when the chart is overextended. Like for instance, if you look at Bitcoin right here, when it did this run up to 70,000, maybe along this stretch from 50 to 70, you took profit, right? And you hailed that profit in like stable coin. But again, and then when this drop came, you added back into the position and then you ran this up a little bit and took some profit there. Obviously, that's timing the market, but the way you would know that is to say, well, not know that. I think you need to start with like, so let's just take Bitcoin for an example. Let's just say you think it's gonna go to 150, or I would say you should choose a number that you believe it's like 90 to 100% gonna hit. So let's say, and we're just using BTC, but obviously altcoins would be the better choice. But for illustration purposes, let's say you think Bitcoin's going to go to 150 and maybe from 60,000, it shoots up all the way to 105, right? And then there you take profit and maybe you don't, maybe you don't go to another altcoin or other crypto. Maybe you stay in like a stable coin like USDC. And then when the market corrects again, you add back your position and then ride up to that 150 level, right? Got out at 105, took profit, held in stable coin, and then got back in. Maybe when it came back down, it was at 105. Maybe it came back down to like 80. You got back in and rode it back up to like 130 or 140. You're not going to time the top, but typically that's what some people do. Now, again, I'm not saying for you guys to do it. I'm just saying how I'm most likely going to play this crypto bull market. And again, I think not falling in love with a project, if you make 2 to 3x, I would consider definitely taking profit off the table and not leaving it until the end of the bull run, right? Like I said, there's going to be narratives that explode first, so you could take money out of that and put it into something that has not exploded. But it's your job to figure out what those narratives are. And again, like I said, staying within the first 100 coins, maybe even the first 100 to 300 coins, 1 to 300. But again, the further you go out into, and when I'm talking about like 1 to 300, I'm talking about the coin market cap list, right? So 1 to 300, so you're going from page 1 to page 3. But again, the farther you go out, the more riskier it gets, right? The lower you go down this line, the riskier it gets. So the more research you're gonna have to do. I mean, you should be doing the same amount of research, but just know that typically the best sound plays are within the first 100. And I was listening to some YouTuber, and he was saying that the last previous bull runs, the top 70 to 100 coins almost all did like a 5x, right? So it's like I said, in this crypto bull market, it's kind of hard to not double your money at least. Like if you don't double your money, you definitely probably invested in like some meme coin and you lost all your money. So I definitely would caution you to not do that type of thing. There's so many good plays that you don't really need to dabble in the meme coins. Yeah, the meme coins do bring the 100x to 1000x gains, but they also bring 100% losses as well. So you don't want to be that person. The crypto market, it's a what? It's a $2.3 trillion market cap. By the time this bull market ends, we'll probably be close to a $4 trillion market, maybe even five. So, you should be able to capture some of that value. You shouldn't be losing it to meme coins, right? Like a Doge, like a Shiba Inu. And I think Doge is going to do good. Again, Doge is an 8. But I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with Doge. So I don't really know the utility. I know you could use it for payments. I'm not sure if the developers have been building. This is more like I look at Doge almost like an NFT play. But, people are holding it out, waiting for it to break its all-time high. So it could potentially do it. Who knows? I just wouldn't invest in something like that. It needs to have some type of utility, and it needs to be a sound investment. Definitely if you're putting a lot of money in it. Okay, and my camera's kind of dark, but it's okay. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, so the narratives, narratives come and go as the bull market heats up. So who knows what's going to be the first narrative? You'll typically have like one or two coins just go crazy. Obviously, Bitcoin goes first, and Bitcoin is already spiked up. So I would say in the next couple months, we're going to see some coins spike like crazy. And who knows what that's going to be. And that usually sets the narrative for the beginning of the bull run. So it may be the Bitcoin layer 2 narratives, right? Those coins spike. Or it may be AI, right? Or it may be real world assets. Who knows, right? But it's your job to, I wouldn't say play those narratives. If you are experienced, then I say maybe you could. But you don't want to be trading in and out. You want to actually capture value before you're dipping out to other positions. Because you can have a scenario where you're moving, trying to catch the ones that are shooting up, and by the time you do that, you end up losing money in the process. So you definitely don't want to trade. I would say following the narratives doesn't really necessarily mean day trading every day, but saying, okay, I have this position in here. What is my target exit amount? Maybe I'm looking for a 2 to 3x. From there, I take that money and I'm going into a different narrative. And you have to see what the market is saying, what's actually spiking, or what plays are actually spiking at the moment. All right, I think that's pretty much it. So we have 55 minutes left. I'm not going to stay on that long. I already been on for 23 minutes. But yeah, it should be interesting. This is the start of the bull market, in my opinion. I think, after these next few months, we're definitely going to see some fireworks when it comes to crypto. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.